Welcome back to Max's Garage Mall. Looks like we got something in the mail today. This is Saturday 6/15, 16, something like that, of 2019. And we received something from Mass Depot at 4500 Donovan Drive in Neosho, Missouri, zip code 64850. Shipped to Max's Garage Mahal. So let's open this thing up here and see what it is. Hope I didn't cut into it. Well, it's red, whatever it is. Actually, I already know what it is, but oh, looky here, looky here. Well, that's a red gas can, and it came in a cardboard box, and the box got here in good shape. So USPS, you did a good job. Thank you for coming. And this is a Fuelworx non-spill 5-gallon stackable gas can, and it says that it is CARB compliant, made in the USA. Excellent, Mass Depot. So let's take a look at this thing. It is, if you don't have one of these Max's Garage Mahal tape measures, you need to get you one of these. These things work great. I've been using this for a couple of years now. Been doing good. So this thing is about 10.5 inches wide, and its highest point is 13 inches. It is 11.25 to where it's going to stack. You can, as you can see, these are stackable, which is pretty neat. And I like this extra wear point it's got in here. And let's see what else it's got. It has it marked off in gallons and liters. It has the warning labels on the sides. It also mentions here that gasoline is poison. It's flame resistant, or it's very, very flammable, and be cautious with it. And right here on the end it says Fuelworx. I don't know if you see that or not. I don't have the monitor on it. Danger: gasoline extremely flammable vapors can explode or cause flash fires. Harmful or fatal if swallowed. Vapors inside the container can explode. So this thing is a 5-gallon, 18.93 liter. Says it's a premium gas can, and it's for lawnmowers, snowmobiles, four-wheelers, wave runners, boats. I think it would work for a car. Shows a skid steer on the front here. So let's see what the instruction says. It's a durable low-tip design, better for transportation. Viton seals or Viton seals, whichever, non-permeable to gas or fumes to prevent leaks. Before each use, press vent button to relieve pressure. Vent button is back here. Got a good crisp catch to that. I like that. It says, number 1, unscrew cap. That sort of makes sense. Okay, so you're going to take it around here, and you got a latch here that you're going to push in to get past the first lock. You put it back on there and do that. All right, that looks pretty good, guys. It is really hot in the Garage Mahal here, and let's see. Looks like you pull this out of the can, put this in here like this. Then I bet this goes down further. Looks like I need to turn it a little bit, doesn't it? quite get the way I want it. I know, perfectionist, huh? Alright, this thing, you're supposed to push this down as you put it in the fuel hole, and that allows the fuel to run in. If I was smarter, I'd know how to do this. So we'll figure this out real quickly. There we go. Has a lock here, and once you put that back in this groove, then you can shove that sucker in there, and that allows air to come through and allows the fuel to run out. And after you get it started, then you press this vent button right here. So we just bought gasoline this week, and this holds 5 gallons more or less, and I just bought 8. So I guess I might pour gasoline out of the big can into one of the vehicles. Then we'll go buy more gasoline, fill this up, we'll check, see if it holds 5 gallons, and if it holds a little bit more, and most likely it'll have a little area in here for ventilation or expansion. And this vent here and this vent here should keep it from expanding out into the atmosphere. You'll find out. So we're not at the point where we need gasoline, but we will get rid of gasoline. And before we go anywhere, let me run grab the old can and I'll show you what I've been using up to this point. Be right back. Alrighty, well, we put you a little array out here of the things that I've been using over the years, and some have been successful, some not so successful. So let's go to the most successful. This is a 6-gallon Rubbermaid. It's very difficult to use. You have to remove this nut. Can you hear that? That gas vapor's exploding coming out of the can. Then you remove this stopper right here. Then you take this out and you place it through the nut like that. Then you place it back on here, screw it on really tight. If you don't get it on there really, really tightly, and I've had to put a regular O-ring in here because the factory O-ring, this is a little bit rough, and it finally wore it out, cut it out. I made it start leaking anyway. And then once you get this port into your gas filler, then you loosen this vent to allow it to go ahead and flow a lot more easily and quickly. So that's the way that works. This thing works great. It's genuine, old school. Can't beat old school. I mean, it works. Nothing, there's no electronics, there's no valves, there's nothing to go wrong. That's just good old stuff. Now, with that said, these have got a lot of technology that's going into them, and we're going to give them their due, and we're going to test them. Again, here's an old Rubbermaid 1 gallon, and you remove the stop lid and you put on this little funnel that has a little white gasket in here, and you tighten it down really tightly till it don't leak. Then once you start pouring, you open this vent. Both of these have gasoline in them. I keep this around for the neighbors that can't seem to find their way to the gas station, and every once in a while one of them I need a gallon gas for whatever, so I've got that on hand. Now this was my first foray into the CARB compliant, I don't even think it says it on it. It says EnviroFlow, and this thing right here is about 10 years old, and it's child resistant. That's a good thing. Let's see, it's got a state of California seal on it, and a compliant California compliant code here. It, before each use, place can upright, unlock lever. It's this right here. And that's for pouring. Then you can push this down, allow the fuel flow. Now, this is a genuine Blitz built product. I don't know what that means. I figure Blitz built it. It was about 10 years ago, $19.99. Still has 2 tags on it. And I just washed it under the faucet a while ago, so they're not as great as they were, but they're still there. And as you can see, they are $19.99. I haven't used this thing for 4 or 5 years, and the reason for that is day one this valve leaked, and that's the biggest thing that people complain about. It doesn't leak at the nut, it leaks out of this valve and runs out of the valve and down around the car or the lawnmower or whatever that you happen to be trying to fill. And again, it has a little lock right here. See if you can see that. It has a little lock. You have to pull this back. You gotta get your thumb up here while you pull this back with one hand to hold that down. Then you've got to get it up here like this, but you got to sort of turn around here, because if you're right-handed, now you got to do it this way and your lock is not in the right place. It's just wasn't a good purchase. Just didn't do a very good job. And just be honest with you, I gave this a fail, and I've loaned it out many times. I've given it away, but it always comes home. So I'm not sure that that's a good thing. I don't think that's a real good endorsement for that. So I would say stay away from this brand. So what we're going to do is we're going to judge, and I'm going to be fair with Mass Depot. They've always been fair with me so far, so I'm going to be fair with them. I'm going to judge this gas can against these 2 Rubbermaid gas cans, old school. Again, they don't have any kind of valve, so there's not much to mess up. This one is probably, I think we sold these out of Hughes Auto Parts and Oil Company distribution. Probably starting in 74-5 when Rubbermaid came out with these. And we sold thousands and thousands of them. And before we started selling them, we didn't trust them because we always sold the old metal jerry cans. And consequently, we bought, I think, 12 cases of these things and gave them to various gas stations around, and also auto repair shops around Arkansas, Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Tennessee, Missouri, part of Illinois, part of Kansas, to test these things. And we waited about, I guess, 6 months before we started taking our first shipments and actually distributing these things. And out of all that time, we had 0 complaints. And when we wanted to pick them up to look them over and send them back to the factory for the factory to look them over, because we told them use them, you know, just like one of the old metal cans, abuse them, drop them, run over them, kick them, we don't care. We just want to see how they stand up. This is one of those cans, and it's been around all that time. So here's what we're going to do, Mass Depot. We're going to take your can, we're going to put 5 gallons of fuel in it. We're going to find out how easy it is to compress this valve, and while we're pouring, get this in, and we're going to see how it works. We're going to see how it is to push this vent, and we'll let you all know, and we will be fair. And let's see. Okay, so you can push this left-handed, right-handed, either one, pretty easily. So that's a plus. That's a good thing. Beats this thing down here on the floor all to pieces so far. So stay tuned. I don't know how long it'll be before we come back and start over on this, or not start over, but start adding footage to this film, but we will find out how this thing does, and we'll get back to you and let you know. And hopefully we don't blow anything up or burn anything down, and if we do, maybe somebody pick up the torch and go light some, pick up the torch and make some more videos from Max's Garage Mahal. Okay, we appreciate it. We'll be back.